G'day, it's Mark here. I'm just here at this oval, country oval, and there's an old grandstand just there, and I'm just actually hunting here. Someone asked me a question about hunting in audio response long and what it was like amongst trash, and I said it's actually really good once you get used to it. And I came here deliberately for this today to try and explain why it's better, why I think it's better, and how your chances it improves your chances of actually finding those small silver targets or coin targets in amongst trash. Anyway, we'll just go over this here. I've found a target. So if you listen, that's in long, but there's a lot of bottle tops and stuff here, and that's kind of what it'll sound like in long. But what you're listening for is this. Hear that? Now, I'll explain later, and I might even explain a little bit with this video and in this article about mine's actually, hear that high tone? I turn my variability right up and a couple of other settings because it makes the silvers and the coppers really squeal out. And if you look on the screen there, I'm kind of getting an 1141. It's probably a 1 cent piece, but it could well be a threepence or something like that. But the whole reason being about this, in long, what happens is you get all those targets, but it's that whole thing about the detector's able to make a longer response and you've got a bit more time to hear it. If I go into normal, you'll still hear it, but the chances are you'd miss it. See, it's not as defined. It's harder to sort of, you just get a little bit of it there. But you go back into long, and it's actually quite distinct. So it's just there. So what you do is, when I'm detecting amongst trash with my Etrac in this setting, I'm this is about how fast I'm moving. So, and you're listening for those high squeals in amongst the dull tones, which are normally your trash and stuff. Anyway, we'll dig this one, we'll see what we got. I've got a I kind of tend to pinpoint in long mode because it's a little bit hard, although once you're right over it, if you hit pinpoint, it's like I said the other day. Remember I said if you hit pinpoint right over a target, it locks onto that target. So I'd say it's right about there. So I'll go back into normal mode. And there it is there. Alright, I'm going to give this one a bit of a dig, and I'll see how we go. Now, like I said, I reckon it's a 1 cent piece, but this was mainly more for just demonstration of how I hunt in long. Let me just... Not unusual to pull tabs and stuff out of the same hole when you're hunting amongst the trash like this. Let's flip that plug out of there. Just down here. Yep, there it is there. It's exactly what I said it was. It's a 1 cent piece. Now, little brownies, but just showing you that when you hunt in long, you can actually find these small targets in amongst trash. Now,
there's trash all around here. Now, in normal mode, like I said before, it gives you more time to hear what the detector's actually saying to you about what's in the ground. And I've found a lot of silver coins and a lot of pennies and even gold rings amongst trash with the Etrac using these settings and all that I've got. And I'm going to explain a lot more about that as I go along on my blog. Anyway, I'm going to go and see what I can get today, and yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to accomplish today. So I hope that helps. Cheers.